Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about Deadlock. This is Valve's new game, the worst kept secret in history, and potentially what I will be playing for the next decade. Feeling it. So what is Deadlock? Deadlock is Valve's sort of take on a third-person MOBA. That's what I would call it. If you are aware of the game Risk of Rain, between Risk of Rain 1 and Risk of Rain 2, Risk of Rain 1 was a 2D platformer roguelike, basically. Risk of Rain 2 became a third-person 3D platformer roguelike. It kept a lot of the same elements from the first game, but evolved them to adapt to the 3D world and translated that feeling expertly. To me, Deadlock is that, but for MOBAs. So League of Legends, Dota, that type of game, Deadlock moves that from an isometric top-down view into a third-person sort of shooter. And we hop into the sandbox here. You'll see that a lot of the same elements are here. We've got, space to move around, controlling with WASD. I've got 4 different abilities. I've got experience. Experience also functions as the currency in this game, so pretty interesting there. And then each of my abilities has 3 different upgrades that I can apply to them. And every character has this sort of basic breakdown at this point. So, what sort of makes this game better, at least in my mind, than a game like Smite, which is also a third-person MOBA? Something about the way the game flows is super familiar. Like, I have a decade of experience with League of Legends, with Dota, those types of games. And in many ways, because of that clear translation of Dota into 3D, there's outstanding elements here. So there's last hitting, there's denying when your minions, like this guy, if this were to get last hit by an hero, then a soul would pop out and you have the opportunity to last hit it. There's also the ability to deny enemies those souls. So this guy's pretty low. If I melee him, a soul doesn't pop out. So there's sort of a skill expression in that way that I'm taking maybe a risk by walking up to melee the unit. But I'm sort of getting a benefit from deny my enemy. So some basic things like that. And obviously, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself in terms of what those game mechanics are. So maybe let's hop into a quick bot game and we can talk about the map, we can talk about the items, we can talk about the sort of general game flow, and then towards the end, why don't we hop into a player game, how that plays out. All right, see you there. All right, so welcome back to Deadlock. We are in a bot game, just to show you sort of the general flow of the game, a little bit about the map. And you can see as we start off here, this is the primary way you're going to be getting to and from the lane, which is this handy-dandy zip line. You can see down here, you can see the entire map, you can see my teammates. There are 6 players on my team, not the general 5 you're used to in most MOBAs. And if we look around, you can see a couple of things. Here's the tower, the very first tower. I believe they're called Guardians. You can see also over here, I've got a bot sort of playing the game. So the goal for the first part of the game is just to sort of get last hits like this, and walk up, punch, shoot. And like I said earlier, shooting makes a soul pop out. And then also, at the beginning of the game, often you're going to be doing things, especially when you're inexperienced, as I am. You're going to be doing things like pulling up a build, and Valve has this lovely built-in build system where you can select from any number of builds that other players have made. So the goal of the early game is just to get as many souls as possible. Very similar to many other MOBAs with the way that they do a basic job of saying at the beginning of the game you're very weak, you know, but your goal is to gain more power. So you can see there I just leveled up because I got enough souls to do so. And in addition to having enough souls to do so, you can also buy an item. The cheapest item is 500 souls, so I'm going to go ahead and try to kill this bot here. See if I can get some souls. Go.
You're outmatched.
Now I have 1100 souls, and if we go look at our build here, you can see the game items I can. So there's restorative shot and melee lifesteal, and these are pretty complicated items for the early part of the game. Restorative shot has an ability on it; it's got a cooldown. You can see there under the passive, and melee lifesteal is a very similar item, but rather than shooting, it's for melee attacks. Health back on you. I'm playing a character called Abrams, and Abrams is sort of like a tanky Chad character who's all about getting in the front lines and getting in the face of the enemy. So health regen is a very big part of his character. Alright, so as we continue, you can sort of see a couple of different things here. There's a melee ability, and in addition to there being melee, there's also a counter. So that's what I just did right there. A counter sort of causes someone who attempts to attack you to get stunned for a second if you time it right. I'm not certain I'll be able to pull that off against the bots here, but maybe I can. I try. Oh. Or better, I could have done it there. So there's also ammunition. Every character has a unique gun. And then also there's different types of movement text. So there's a wall jump, double jump, air dash, all sorts. And then also you can sort of slide here. You can also see, if you look at the ammunition counter here, while I'm sliding, infinite ammo. This is something people are doing is when you're on the first tower here, just slide backwards down the stairs and just take little pot shots at the tower. That way you can sort of get some free attacks rather than wasting your ammunition. So yeah, so this is the sort of breakdown of the start of the game, and just like other MOBAs, the goal is to push up the lane and reach the enemy base. You can. So why don't we hop into a real game, show off the entirety of a game, and we really wrap up some thoughts towards it about what I think of Deadlock, what I think it's going to go, and this game is still very much under development, so it'll be interesting what it's like. I think. Right. See ya in the player game. All right, welcome back to Deadlock. We are in a real player game, and I am Abrams once again. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. Luckily, that's good. I wanted to play a sort of here to allow me to sort of talk while playing. So, talking through each of these abilities, real quick to start off. There are quite a bit of abilities, there's quite a bit of items, but I think that's helpful. And what we'll probably do is, you know, as we get about 15 minutes off, you can get a small taste, and hopefully you can get a chance to play this game on your own, because it is very, very excellent. So let's talk through these abilities. Like I said, there's Siphon Life. So what this is an AoE around you, so area of effect circle, that sort of sucks the life out of the enemy close to you. We've got Shoulder Charge, which is like you charge forward and you grab enemies in front of you, and if you while they're stunned for a moment. You got Infernal Resilience, which is like a way of Abrams, sort of like a tanky bruiser guy. He loves to takes damage and heals it back. That's maybe not directly with his disability, but yeah, this makes him stronger. It makes him regen the damage that. And then his last ability makes him fly into the air and then slam down in a big swoop. And if enemies are caught in that, when he slams down, then they are. So in the early game here, in the lane, I like to take it a little slow. This person knows what they're doing clearly because they've been walking up to hit the minions. And the reason I like to take it slow is because the way you gain power, as I said earlier, through last hitting. If you don't last hit, you will fall behind quickly.
This book is dangerous. I can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
I'm gonna take it right here. The character I'm up against is definitely really good at fighting 1 versus 1 just as well as I am. Her name is Lady Geist. Has abilities that drain her health, but also drain the enemy's health probably faster. And her ultimate is very similar to her ultimate ability. Swaps health tokens she's targeting. So she ideally likes to take long trades where they even fall behind.
Try to bring me down.
So like I said, here in the early game, just doing some basic last hitting, trying not to die. Not dying is very important. Die means you're not in lane. Rules. Person really likes this.
The old New York tuxedo.
I'm not going to go over the items I'm buying. I'm just using a guide to make it myself while playing.
If they don't get out of the way, that's on them.
Fooled me there. Oh no. Kind of getting banged up on. So someone did abandon the match, someone on my team. So this may end up being shorter than other people are leaving. Then I will. But I'm gonna go ahead and stay in here, keep playing. This person is fighting these. Good coverage on like them. At least in the laning stuff. Totally dodging everything. Triple hit. Good.
The only way to face a problem is head on.
So Abrams has sort of a shotgun main attack, and that is one thing that I found to be very strong in this game, is you can aim in the general direction of the souls that
Has been destroyed.
right.
I use this damn book
You can see I just leveled up my ultimate ability. I don't know if she has hers just yet. She does, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the dive here. I pulled it off. So I knew that she didn't have her ultimate, so I was pretty safe to dive there. I almost died to the turret, but that's okay. I am not doing. And we're gonna end the video here, at least for this little segment. Hop back.